says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows you to experience the external desires out of His mercy. But in His mercy, He invites you to His banquet of salah 5 times a day. And He uses what Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu described the Quran as the banquet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? That you are invited to a banquet of the Lord at least 5 times a day. And when you come in, every salah has its different ingredients. It has a different amount of rak'at. It has the prayer being recited out loud or silently. It has different components. And all of that is meant to inform you in a certain way. He says, and if you look at the different ingredients of the prayer, the recitation of the Quran is the best recitation. So the best to hear and the best to recite is the Quran. Dua is the best way to ask for something. And you have that. You have qiyam and ruku' and sujood. And these are the best motions of the body. And you're bringing light in the process to every single part of your existence, even physically. You're bringing nur to yourself. Nur in the heart, light on the tongue, light to the ears, and light to every single one of your limbs. He says that the angels, the earth, the mountains, the rivers, they all rejoice at your prayers. And you're inspired towards righteousness in a way that your loved ones rejoice at your prayer as well. Because they see that the salah is generating, a meaningful prayer is generating a meaningful change in your character. And just like fasting has farhatan, has 2 joys. When you break your fast here and you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with it, you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with your salah in complete joy, because the standing before Allah on the Day of Judgment is going to be determined by the standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this dunya. And so you think about Allah calling you to a banquet, inviting you to a banquet, how you come to that banquet, how clean are you, how respectful are you, how attentive are you to that banquet, where are you sitting at that banquet, how much are you paying attention. All of that is important. And Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu said that if our hearts were right, that they would never get enough of the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he gives this example, rahimahullah ta'ala, Ibn al-Qayyim. He says, imagine a starving person who comes to a feast and all they do is they take 1 handful of food and they just put it in their mouths and they leave. So this is the example of a person that is completely in ghafla, completely in heedlessness. And Allah Azza wa Jal calls them to an act to where they could completely immerse themselves in something beautiful, transformative, but they only take a handful and they abandon that table. And so the drought of the heart is called ghafla. It's heedlessness, and that's being distant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.